Come on, Miguel. Not another do I need a CDL video or topic. It's been covered over and over and over. Yet, on most Facebook groups, it is the biggest source of debate, and people just don't get the simplicity. Okay, again, not trying to single anyone out or make anyone look bad, not doing anything like that, just trying to help others. This person is pretty much asking, why is it that, this truck is registered for 25,999 pounds, and, when we got pulled over by DOT, they're claiming it requires a CDL. She states it was a non-CDL vehicle when she purchased it. I'm not laughing at her. I'm contemplating how I'm going to say this without offending any of you or the person from Facebook. I don't know the person. I made some comments on that particular statement, which the person probably isn't liking. But here's the gist of it. If you go to, and this kind of goes back to the first part of the video where, all these people argue and they point to the FMCSA. Guys, your home state licensing agency is the only place that matters, okay? Whatever the FMCSA has on their website does not matter. Yes, it's the federal regulation. It's the minimum regulation that your home state must abide with. But your home state, regardless to what state you live in, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Florida, California, Arizona, where you live, that's who's gonna issue your license. My regular subscribers already know I get sinuses really, really bad, and if I don't drink something as I'm talking, I start to choke really bad, and no one wants to see me choke and cough. And anyway, so getting back to the statement, your home state licensing agency is the one you must comply with. Other states must reciprocate your home licensing regulation. And so I stated earlier that California has a more stringent Class A requirement. If you are properly registered and insured in your home state, and your home state has a rule less stringent than California, California will not write you a ticket for not having a CDL. That same vehicle driven by someone from California will get the ticket for not having a CDL if your trailer is over 10,001 pounds. They reciprocate each other's license. That is a federal requirement. So the feds created a reciprocity law. That word is like my nemesis. So they must reciprocate each other's licensing rules. So that means if you are legal to drive your rig in Oklahoma, and let's just say Oklahoma states that if your vehicle is an RV, you are exempt from any licensing requirements in terms of it's, it could be a 3-axle diesel pusher like a bus. If your home state is good with that and it's written in your laws, other states that require special licensing, like California, if you're driving an RV, and we're not talking like something you converted, we're talking like a real, diesel pusher, 3-axle, $500,000 rig, thing could be, whatever, it could be a Greyhound bus that's been converted to an RV, basically. California honors your home licensing, and California's rules do not allow that. They allow you up to a certain size, and then above that, you need what they call a non-commercial Class B. Now, some of you are going to say, what in the world is that? California has it, but they cannot enforce that or force that on your license in your home state, because if you go to your Department of Motor Vehicles or whatever your home license agency is called, they won't issue you the test because you're not in an official commercial motor vehicle. And so it's not fair to require you to have a license for something that they won't license you in. And so that's how that rule works. Anyway, so I'm kind of like beating up the parameter of this target. Let me get back on target a little bit. So this person has a problem because they were pulled over by DOT and they were issued a citation, I assume, for not having a CDL, and she believes that the vehicle was non-CDL when they purchased it from the dealer, and when they went to register at the DMV, they registered for 25,999 pounds, and she believes it should be CDL. How do I fight this, was her question. You can't. Okay? What you register a vehicle for is irrelevant to your CDL requirement. I had this argument with a few people on Facebook before, because they believe if you register a pickup truck over 26,000 pounds that you're required to have a CDL, and that's just not true. And if someone issues you a citation for it, you need to fight it. Likewise, if you take a vehicle that has a higher gross vehicle weight rating, the vehicle I'm sitting in now is a 3-axle sleeper truck, and I believe it has like a 53 or a 54,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. And so if I go to the DMV and register it for 26,000 pounds, that does not mean I can drive this vehicle without a CDL. It just doesn't. You can't change that. And so what you register a vehicle for does not change your legal license requirement. You are required to have a CDL based on the gross vehicle weight rating of the vehicle. And then if you're pulling in a combination, then now you're looking at the possibility of needing a Class A CDL. In that case, they will take into account the gross vehicle weight rating of the power unit relative to, or in addition to, the towed unit. Now, the hotshot world has figured out that manufacturers of trailers will issue you a lower gross vehicle weight rating sticker. And some of these guys, what they do is they go out and get themselves a 14,000 pound pickup truck, and then they get a 14 or a 16,000 pound trailer and do what they call derate it down to the 12,000. That'll make your combination of 26. And the reason they do that is they get heavier duty axles and brakes. They get the heavier duty trailer, is an easier way to put it, but derated to fit a non-CDL application. And honestly, in my opinion, some people say, oh, you're cheating, yada, yada, yada. It's, in my opinion, safer, because in the bigger trailer, you're probably going to get 7,000 or 8,000 pound axles, and then you've derated the trailer, so you're not going to load it above the CDL requirement, but you've got better running gear, which is safer. You hit the brakes, you get more braking power. You have bigger tires, stronger tires. And so I don't feel that's wrong whatsoever. The fact that they don't want to get their CDL, I'm not going to argue one way or the other on that. My own hotshot setup was a non-CDL, but it had 10,000 pound axles. This was a heavy duty trailer, but we were in the oil field. See if I can get a shot in right here, if I find a picture. This trailer actually started life as a 22,000 pound gross vehicle weight rated trailer. We installed super singles on the trailer and ran it that way in the oil field. It was also derated to like 12,000 pounds so that it would still meet the definition of non-CDL. The idea was to have heavy duty running gear but still have the ability of running it non-CDL. Anyway, so getting back to the lady with her box truck, there's no getting around that issue. And for those of you that are looking to get a box truck to run Amazon, which is why a lot of you are trying to get into it, understand that what's on your door jamb for your gross vehicle weight rating, that's it. There is no, I'm going to register it for less. Registering for less will save you a couple dollars. But if that sticker on the door says 32 or 35, which is normally what they say, you're going to need a CDL Class B. There's no avoiding it. And if the truck has air brakes, which it most likely will, most trucks with that high of gross vehicle weight rating come with air brakes, you're going to need an air brake. You're going to need to not have the air brake restriction. Air brakes are not an endorsement. It's a restriction, which means if you have a non-CDL vehicle with air brakes, it does not require you to get a CDL. If it was an endorsement, you would need a CDL to drive under 26,000 pounds if the vehicle had air brakes. I think maybe I shouldn't have said that part because it's just going to confuse people. Anyway, so the moral of the story is when you go to buy a vehicle, don't let a salesperson at a dealership tell you, oh, you can register it down and it won't be CDL. It's not true. In my younger days, I was a third-party qualifier, which means the driver would go to the DMV and take his written test. I would train him and test him myself, sign a document, and then the driver would go present that document. They called it a DL40 in California. Take that document to the DMV, and they would issue his license based on the training I gave him. And so the state put me through extensive training to identify and properly categorize which vehicle falls into what category of license. Having said that, because of debates on Facebook, I have researched several other states, and every single one states the same, more or less, verbiage. And it is, you need a CDL if you operate a vehicle with a gross vehicle weight rating in excess of XYZ. Nowhere does it say, or registered weight. Nowhere. The only time you really see registered weight is your requirement for IFTA or your requirement for IRP. That's where registered weight comes in. And for those of you that have gotten tickets for having a vehicle that's under 26,000 pounds, but it's registered over, and they tell you need a CDL and they wrote you a ticket, you should have fought it. That one you can beat. Anyway, that's like a whole topic for a whole nother video. Let me put this together, and hope everyone's having a good day. I'm working on a whole bunch of different videos today. I think I got like 5 or 6 that I've kind of started and created bits and pieces to. And so over the next few days, it's going to look like I'm sitting here wearing the same shirt and, doing nothing, sitting in the truck all day or all week. I've just been working on like a list of different videos that I've been trying to put out. And I hope they're beneficial to you guys. I hope they help you guys. In the case of this lady where she probably had a driver taken out of service and she doesn't realize it yet, but now she's also in violation of FMCSA rules because she has a driver operating a CDL required vehicle. Her driver now is required to be on a drug screening consortium. So she's in violation of the FMCSA rules regarding that. And the problem is, if she's a new authority, when they come and do her new entrant audit, that alone is enough to suspend her authority for 30 days. And so she needs to get on the ball quick about that. Basically, the day she found out that driver needs a CDL, or before that driver moves a vehicle again, she needs to run him in, get him that screen, because she's in violation as of right now. That is the line in the sand. Operating above 26,000 pounds or a CDL required vehicle, that's a whole nother argument, because 26,000 isn't a line in the sand. You can go over 26 without a CDL. I have another video regarding that. But you can also be under 26,000 and need a CDL if you're hauling passengers or hazardous materials. So that being the case, you would need to have a drug screening program if you're hauling hazardous materials in a non-CDL required vehicle. The endorsement forces the CDL. That's why I stated earlier that air brakes are a restriction, not an endorsement. You can operate a non-CDL vehicle with air brakes because it's a restriction. Put hazmat or over 16 passengers in an otherwise non-CDL vehicle, you need a CDL because of the endorsement. The endorsement forces the issue. Anyways, I probably should have been more brief and more direct to the point, guys. I may have confused a little bit adding the other parameters to CDL, but the technical requirement for a box truck operator, if your box truck says 26,001 or more, a CDL is required. 26,000 even or less, it's a non-CDL truck, regardless to whether it has air brakes or not. It's a non-CDL truck. Anyway, registered weight is irrelevant. That's the biggest takeaway. Registered weight is irrelevant. As always, everyone, thanks for watching. Working on a couple more videos. I haven't really done a whole lot of Amazon load board review. I know it's your guys' favorite stuff, but holy cow, I can't really see anything. I actually stumbled across another YouTuber's channel. I'm kind of digging his videos. I think I'm going to do a video. I reached out to him before I do it. I don't like to mention other YouTubers by name or take, snippets from their videos without first making contact with them. I think it's the polite thing to do. Someone commented that I didn't mention Kobe Pegway, I believe is. I usually want to call him Cody, but I think it's Kobe Pegway. Someone mentioned in another video that I should have, given his name and pay my respects to the man in terms of, his channel and his success. He does have a very successful channel. It appears he has a successful trucking company, but I've never been able to make contact with the man. He's really, really busy. His YouTube channel gets lots of traffic. I've reached out to him a couple times, and it kind of seems like he's working the whole angle where he's trying to get money for consulting, and so it's almost like he doesn't want to talk to you if you're not going to cash app him some money. And so I've not been able to make contact with him, and it's the primary reason why I don't mention his name. Not saying anything bad about the man. He's obviously had some measured success. Looking at his videos, beautiful home, beautiful cars, salute to the man. But I typically don't either refer people to other channels or put a link to another channel until I've made contact with that person first. There's a handful of people that I have referred in my time doing these videos. Trucking Topics Today, Tony over there. Not only have Tony and I messaged, via YouTube, I have his email address. We've gone back and forth a little bit. Great guy. Vic Med, he and we've not really talked a whole lot, but we've commented on each other's videos, and I feel like I have a green light to refer people his way. I've told people go to his channel for this information, and he's thanked me for it, and so we have kind of an understanding, I believe. And there's a couple others where I've mentioned their videos, but I've reached out to these people and commented on their videos, and it seems like it's okay with them. And so I do show that respect. In the case of this other gentleman, I've not been able to have any kind of exchange with them. So I'm careful not to say his name, because some people take it the wrong way, and they get bothered, they feel like you're trying to ride their coattails, and that's not what I'm trying to do. That wasn't my intent in the other video, and so that's why I didn't name his name. It wasn't a show of disrespect, it was a show of respect in reality. But, you know, if I had even a short exchange with them and he'd say, yeah, brother, send people to my channel, I make money on it. Okay, great. But sometimes people think, hey, well, you're using my material. You know, you're recycling my material for your benefit. And as you guys can see, my channel isn't monetized. I've been meaning to start using different software to make the videos so it's full screen. And, you know, I know how bad my videos are, guys. Believe me, I do. And I'm a competitive person, and it bugs me. I just haven't had the time to learn the software and do all that kind of stuff. I've not even had time to make videos. And so, you know, I'll work on it, but I got other things that, you know, I got other fish to fry first. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. I do have a couple more videos that should be out before Monday, I hope. Thanks.